All right, while lending continues to slow at the large U.S. banks, it's a different story at one small community bank in the metro New York area. It's called the Park Avenue Bank. Yes, it's headquartered on Park Avenue, focuses on small businesses, and is aggressively lending right now. Also in the process of recapitalizing without the help of the government. They did not take TARP money. Joining us here at the New York Stock Exchange, Charlie Antonucci, President and CEO of the Park Avenue Bank. It's good to have you with us. We're glad to have you on the show, Mr. Antonucci. And you didn't take TARP.
Nope.
And you're aggressively lending. Aggressively lending, does that mean you've got credit-worthy borrowers and the economy is a little bit stronger than people are giving it credit for?
Well, we have credit-worthy borrowers, and what's happened is with all the confusion and the dysfunctionality in the banking system, we're seeing a lot of good quality borrowers that are customers of other banks coming to us because they can't get credit at their current financial institutions. So we're not, when we say aggressively lending, our credit standards are a little tighter than they've been in the past because of the economic conditions, but we're seeing much better quality loans, and there's no shortage of borrowers out there that need credit.
So when we see yesterday, the big survey comes out from the loan officers, and one of the takeaways was that they said there wasn't as much demand for loans.
Right.
You're saying maybe to be skeptical about that particular headline, there is demand, it's just the big banks don't really want or can't lend.
Well, I think it's a combination of the two things. In the market that I'm in, the smaller businesses may not be on the radar of the larger banks. So, the small business clients that come to me, your loans are anywhere from $500,000 to $5 million. To Bank of America or Citibank, one of the larger banks, that's not even on their radar. So, maybe in their arena, there's not much lending going on, but in my arena, there's strong demand.
How long have you been in business?
Park Avenue Bank, we took control of the bank in 2004.
It had existed previously as a different institution?
Yes, it was a wholesale bank operating at a 460 Park, and we converted it to a community bank, retail bank.
Okay, now, when you say you're dealing with loans from $500,000 to roughly $5 million, that's your sweet spot, that's your bread and butter.
Correct.
And how big are these businesses in terms of employees?
You could be as small as 2 to 3 employees to several hundred employees. We have
manufacturing, retail,
all over the scope. We have manufacturers, we have retail, we're in the food industry, we're in the healthcare industry. We have, I would say, predominantly in the combination of healthcare and the food businesses.
Are they oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And what has been your experience in terms of getting these loans paid back? I don't know what you call it, your default rate or something.
Right.
What's been your experience?
On the commercial business loans, a very low default rate. Most businesses are performing well. They've slowed down. Their receivables are a little higher. One of the things that happens in an economy like this, the wholesalers start to become banks to the retailers because they tend to give them extended credit.
Sure.
So we have to be a little bit more careful and we watch them a little bit more. But overall, the small business portfolio has held up well.
And are they lending for, I mean, you got to finance inventories, working capital, right? I mean, just basic bread and butter lending.
Right.
What is the split between that sort of lending and lending to actually expand into new businesses or actually grow their operations?
Very little growth going on right now. I would say 2 years ago, probably about 50% of our lending was for growth and expansion. Now it's just for basically working capital and inventory. A couple of guys are expanding, but not many. Not many.
Right. Mr. Antonucci, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Hard to love.
All right, things going pretty well on Park Avenue. Good to hear.
Although amazing the lack of growth in terms of lending, but I guess you got to start somewhere. At least they can finance the inventory. All right, stocks on the move are next.